Just as we had in the first video of the day, we had a lawsuit. Well, that one was at the tail end of the suit, and this one right here is just getting started. And it's one of our old friends here. Good old Alec Baldwin is finally a defendant in a suit in regards to him not pulling the trigger, holding the gun. I don't know, I wasn't even on set that day. I don't even know what a gun is, okay? At that Rust production, okay, what happened there? He's finally being named as a fucking defendant in something. Criminal charges? The fuck no. That's never gonna happen. But at least the family is trying to get some cash on this one, because Lord knows that they're never going to see justice in the criminal sense, because Alec Baldwin's famous. Maybe the armorer, maybe the assistant director ends up going down for this. Should they? Probably. Were they responsible for some shit? Yeah, but so was Baldwin. So let's see what they are asking for. Reckless and cost-cutting. Alec Baldwin is sued by family of Rust cinematographer Halyna Hutchins for unlimited damages. That sounds like a crazy cheat code that could have been typed in up, down, left, right, BA start. It sounds like something that you could type into an old fucking Konami game, but after he accidentally killed her with a prop gun, it was a prop gun, right? And blasted her in the chest. Wow. It went off nice by saying prop gun. Accidentally killed her with a blast to the chest, and then they just had to go in there for the fucking kill. A la Baldwin. But let's see what we know, and let's see what we can go on from this. The family of slain cinematographer Halyna Hutchins on Tuesday filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Alec Baldwin and others on the set of the low-budget Western film Rust after the actor killed her with a prop gun blast to her chest. Baldwin was holding a Colt 45 revolver on the set of New Mexico. I was going to say New York, but there's enough accidental gun violence that happens there, so you don't need to sue for every single one of those, and those gangbangers don't have a fucking pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of anyways. During rehearsal, when it fired a live round on October 21st, I thought it was, wow, it's been that long, killing Halyna Hutchins, but he was nice, and the day after, Alec took them all for breakfast, so why is he suing them? He has maintained that it was Hutchins herself who asked him to point the gun just off camera and towards her armpit because it went off. Yeah, but how'd you end up shooting her center mass there, stupid? Anyways, director Joel Souza also was wounded in the shooting at Bonanza Creek Ranch film set near Santa Fe. And we actually have a reenactment video as we go down in this article, so stay tuned for that, or skip ahead, see if I care. The civil complaint filed in New Mexico on Tuesday is seeking unspecified but substantial damages, including punitive damages. Punitive just means indeterminate compensation. Attorney Brian Panish, representing Hutchins' husband, Matthew Hutchins, try to say that 10 times fast, and their young son Andros. There we go. Andros Hutchins. Geez, you guys have such regular names. Well, Halyna, all things considered. At least the ones that are still alive have regular names. Held a press conference in Los Angeles on Tuesday to announce the lawsuit against Baldwin and others who are responsible for the safety on set and whose reckless behavior and cost-cutting led to the senseless, tragic death of Halyna Hutchins. I wonder who else is named in this. I'm sure we'll probably get into it. At least 3 other lawsuits have been filed over the shooting, but this is the first directly tied to one of the 2 people shot. Yes, sir. Tuesday afternoon, Baldwin, 62. Well, okay. For a murderer, he looks pretty good for 62. Has not commented on the latest lawsuit. Could have changed. This is, a few days out of date, nor do I really care. And his wife, Hilaria, 37, who is hilarious in and of herself, were seen in the West Village of Manhattan in the morning, returning from a shopping trip to Walgreens Pharmacy. Oh my God, they're in New York and he's not wearing a mask outside? I can hardly believe it. And there he was the day after, taking them out and spending some time with them, saying, please don't sue me after I killed your wife and your mother. Like I said before, there's I don't know, some PS2 graphics that just came together reenacting this scenario. As you can see, he pulled a Colt with a silencer from out of his holster. Weird, whatever. He was pointing it towards Hutchins, and I don't know who everybody in these pictures are, but yeah, obviously pointing it towards all the people that were there. Who even knows why he was pointing the gun directly at the camera? And because there's been other uncorroborated reports that pointing the gun at the camera wasn't even necessary, and I know thanks to multiple other reports on this one, having people behind the camera, even for just a prop gun, even if it wasn't loaded, it's not standard practice to have anybody directly behind the camera anyways, because there's multiple monitors on there to make sure that they get the shot anyways. So Well, thanks to not following proper procedures, they ended up getting a different type of shot. But as you can see there, yeah, there's the aftermath of things. So there's just a little video here that just goes and walks through everything on this one, but whatever. The difference between a dummy round and a live round, well, live round obviously has gunpowder in it. Duh, that's what makes it live. But apparently a typical dummy round has a BB inside. Okay, so it should be substantially lighter, and it should also have the little tick, 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 tick noise of a BB rattling around if you were to shake it. So, and somebody who has been in the game for a minute probably recognizes the sound of a gun that's loaded that has these dummy rounds inside. And probably hears the tick 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 that goes back and forth. But if it's all mixed up with different rounds, if there's one live round, if it's of different size, because apparently the armorer had to force it into the chamber because it wouldn't quite properly fit. There's a bunch of other things, but that's a different lawsuit. Something I wanted to talk about for a minute, but that's a little bit out of date at this point. This one is at least brand new. According to Panish, his firm has conducted an independent investigation that he said uncovered a numerous violation of industry standards by Baldwin and other defendants named in the complaint. Among them, Rust Armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, Assistant Director David Halls, and several production companies attached to the project. You go after the people who have the deep pockets and also the people who are responsible, because while Hannah Gutierrez probably has wide pockets, I don't necessarily think that they're deep pockets, and who knows who the fuck David Halls is right now. If he knows what he's doing, he's probably packing his bags and getting the fuck out of the country. A video created by the attorney showed 3D animated recreation, yeah, that you could also, you know what, play on your fucking PS2, whatever, but at least it actually showed what the fuck went on that day, which is kind of nice, because all we've had is speculations to go on. Like, we've seen the inside of this a theoretical church a couple of times, but how everything ended up going down, like, we've just had to piece it together. But to actually have this played out in reality, that's nice. The only thing that I take umbrage with is I beg to differ that anybody would be wearing a mask on set if they weren't following, you know, just keeping non-live rounds out of the box. I doubt that they were probably keeping masks on at the same time. Anyways, the round that struck Hutchins, who clutches her chest as she collapses in the video. Yeah, you could probably see the end of this. Like, we can let this run here for a minute. Like, it's like, oh no, she got shot in the chest. And it's not like the movies, even though it was on a set. She gets shot, she wanders around for a minute, and eventually she collapses to the ground. There's no dramatic, oh my god, and then she delivers a soliloquy. No, you get shot, you wonder, oh my god, I fucking got shot, and then you hit the deck. No shit. Baldwin has said that at Hutchins' direction, he pulled the hammer back and that fired when he let go. Right, yeah, because I didn't pull the trigger. I don't even know what a trigger on a gun is. What is a gun? Who knows? He said he didn't know the gun contained a live round. That's totally fair, but did you check the gun? Oh, you didn't. Did you intentionally disregard some safety standards that were on there by pointing the gun? Regardless, okay? Because there are certain things that you cannot consent to. Being shot in the dome, being physically assaulted, is one of those things that you cannot give your legal affirmations to. It's just one of those things. Sorry about that. The Hutchins family lawyer presented a list of at least 15 industry standards Panish said the film producers had ignored on set. This included a failure to use a prop gun rather than a live weapon. Fair enough. Yeah, because it fired. Ergo, not a prop gun. No shit. A lack of individuals qualified to handle weapons. No, but the Gutierrez-Reed is the daughter of a famous good quality armorer, so she should know by proxy. On the set at the time of the shooting, and a lack of protective equipment for the crew. Yeah, you know, like bulletproof vests and shit. According to Panish, crew members had voiced complaints to producers about super unsafe practices on set. That's something we've heard from for a long time, back when all this shit was first kicking off, including 3 accidental discharges preceding Hutchins' shooting. Not just accidental discharges, okay? Specifically from that gun itself, by the way. Rust's camera assistant Elaine Looper, who made the super unsafe comment and quit on the eve of the shooting, told Good Morning America that there were only 2 safety meetings on set in totality of the production, and said the production did not take gun safety seriously. I wonder if they are now, because apparently Baldwin's back on set, which is just fucking wild. Apparently this film is in fact going to be made. It's going to be weird to see. I wonder if they're going to dedicate it to Halyna Hutchins. That would be just a fucking cherry on top of all this nonsense. I think with Rust, it was the perfect storm of the armor, assistant director, the culture that was on set. What about Baldwin? Name him specifically. The rushing. It was everything. Maybe she's not attached to this lawsuit. I'm sure she's going to be attached to one of them. Law enforcement officials in New Mexico have described some complacency in how weapons were handled on the set of Rust. I wonder what would lead you to that conclusion. They have yet to file any charges and have been working to determine where the live rounds found on set might have come from. Well, apparently they were shooting cans right before that scene was shot anyways, so you know things. Last month, nearly 3 months after the shooting, Baldwin turned over his cell phone to authorities in his home state of New York. Ooh, I'm glad we can go back over this. They gathered information from the phone and provided it to the Santa Fe County investigators, who had obtained a warrant for it. Baldwin said he does not believe he will be criminally charged in the shooting, but then he also disregarded any of the subpoenas involving his cell phone, so he was fighting over that as well. Film script supervisor and its lead camera operator, both of whom were standing a few feet away when Hutchins was shot, each filed a lawsuit over the trauma they went through. In November, the low-budget movie's chief lighting technician, Serv Svetnoy, sued Baldwin for negligence. In the film's Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who was named as a defendant in those lawsuits and blamed by some for the shooting, well, she was the one who loaded the gun, so, filed her own suit saying an ammunition supplier created dangerous conditions by including live ammunition in the box. How could you ever fucking prove that? By the by, okay? Was every round in that box live ammunition? How do you know that somebody else didn't mix that shit in there? That lawsuit is going nowhere at the speed of your waist. In an interview with ABC News in December, Baldwin said he felt incredible sadness over the shooting, but not guilt. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it was, I don't know. I'm not the victim in this, but it's the worst thing that ever happened to me. Wait, what? Someone is responsible for what happened, and I can't say who that is, but it's not me. I just, was holding the gun and shot her. I didn't pull the trigger, Baldwin said. I would never point a gun at anyone and pull the trigger at them. Never. But you would point a gun at somebody, so you're at least lying partially in that statement. Called Hutchins somebody who was loved by everybody and admired by everyone who worked with her. So why did you kill her, Alec? Why did you do that? So hopefully you just make like Prince Andrew and you settle with these folks. But who knows? Maybe you're a little bit more broke than you're leading on. Who knows? Don't really care. Hopefully that her family ends up getting justice on this one. See where it goes from here. See how many more lawsuits and see if we finally get some fucking criminal charges, because that would be nice. But with all of that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.